All right, let's kick things off today by diving into a question that's at the heart of pretty much every business conversation. What's the secret to success? So what do you think? Where do you land on this one? Is it all about having that genius, perfectly laid out strategy? Or is it the vibe, the energy, the culture of the team that really makes or breaks a company? It's a classic debate for a reason.
But here's the thing. What if we're looking at this all wrong? What if it's not a choice between one or the other? What if strategy and culture are actually two sides of the same incredibly powerful coin? Okay, so let's start with the first piece of that puzzle, the strategy part. We're going to talk about something really cool, which is how massive established companies can actually learn to act like a nimble little startup. It's a concept called corporate entrepreneurship, or CE for short. Think of a huge company like a giant cargo ship. I mean, it's powerful, it's got a ton of resources, but trying to turn it on a dime? Forget about it. Corporate entrepreneurship is all about teaching that big ship how to maneuver like a speedboat, how to innovate, pivot quickly, and create new things from the inside. And look, this isn't just some fluffy corporate buzzword. Companies do this for very real, very concrete reasons. They're trying to inject new life into the business, they're looking for new ways to grow, and at the end of the day, they're trying to make sure they stay financially healthy and relevant for the long haul. All right, so that's the strategic engine. Now, let's flip the coin over and look at the other side, the company's personality, its culture. You can think of this as the hidden operating system that's running in the background, dictating how everything really works. The official term is organizational culture, or OC. But really, it's just the unwritten rules of the game. It's the shared beliefs. It's the vibe you get when you walk in the door. It's how people collaborate, how they handle problems, what gets celebrated. It's literally the personality of the company. But here is where it gets really interesting. A great culture isn't just about the free snacks or the ping pong table in the break room. When you build it the right way, it stops being a soft little perk and becomes a hard, strategic asset. A resource that can give a company a serious, and I mean serious, competitive advantage. This idea is actually at the core of something called the resource-based theory, and it's a really simple but powerful idea. If you want to win over the long term, you need resources that your competitors can't easily get their hands on or copy. I mean, think about it. Anybody can buy the same software or the same machinery. As the researcher Jay Barney put it, a real advantage comes from doing something valuable that no one else can replicate. And what's more valuable, rare, and difficult to copy than a unique, high-performing company culture? You literally can't buy that off a shelf. So, okay, we've got these two big ideas, acting like a startup and using your culture as a secret weapon. But does any of this actually hold up when the rubber meets the road? Well, let's check out a study that put these exact ideas to the test. So these researchers went into a super competitive field, banking in Pakistan. They zeroed in on the big 5 banks there and started collecting data from hundreds of middle managers, trying to figure out if corporate entrepreneurship and organizational culture were actually making a difference to their performance. They started with 2 pretty basic questions. First, does having that startup mentality actually improve business results? And second, does having a strong, positive company culture also lead to better performance? Pretty straightforward, right? And what they found was a clear, definite yes to both. The data showed it plainly. Companies that were more entrepreneurial performed better, and companies with stronger cultures also performed better. Okay, great. But that wasn't the big discovery here, not even close. The real mystery, the million-dollar question they were after, was about how these two things work together. What happens when you combine an entrepreneurial strategy with a great culture? Do they just add up, or do they actually multiply each other's power? And this, right here, is the moment this whole thing clicks into place. This is the big reveal from the study, and it really changes how you have to think about strategy and culture. So here's the key finding. The study discovered that culture acts as a moderator. Now, I know that sounds a little academic, but all it really means is that culture doesn't just add its own little boost. It actually acts as an amplifier. It changes the whole equation. I love this analogy. Think of your company's strategy, all that corporate entrepreneurship and innovation, as the engine in a car. It's what provides the power to move forward, but a strong organizational culture, that's the turbocharger. It doesn't create power on its own, it takes the power the engine is already making and multiplies it, giving you this massive boost in performance you could never get otherwise. And this lays it out perfectly. With just an entrepreneurial strategy, you get good performance. Hey, the engine's running, you're moving.
But when you bolt on that turbocharger, when you add a strong culture that supports all that innovation, you get superior performance. The engine isn't just running anymore, it is absolutely supercharged.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? What does this mean for your business, your team, your career? Let's bring it all home.
This single most important thing to remember is this. Your company's strategy and its culture are not two separate things to work on. They are completely fundamentally linked. A brilliant strategy in a bad culture will probably fail, and a great culture with no strategy is just going to drift. But when you get them working together, they create this incredible multiplier effect.
So let's just quickly recap the main points. Number one, pushing for that startup mentality inside your company is a seriously powerful strategy. Number two, building a strong culture on purpose is a massive competitive advantage that's hard to copy. And number three, the real magic, the secret sauce, happens when you combine them and let them amplify each other.
And that really just leaves us with one last question to think about. I want you to honestly consider your own workplace. Is your culture the turbocharger, making every single strategic move more powerful? Or is it an anchor, weighing down even the most brilliant plans? Because the answer to that question might just be the key to unlocking a whole new level of success.